going on, guys? This is the rear end for Seagull, my 2006 Silverado 1500. I've currently blown up two 10 bolts. This is the rear end, the gearing out of my 14 bolt that we're gonna be putting in the truck. First things first, we gotta get welded, which means I gotta get these clutches back together, and I don't know how to do that. Ran this through the parts cleaner, because last time I welded a diff, I just sprayed it with brake clean and then it kind of exploded when I tried to weld it. So I figured this time we'll do it the right way. And this was a posi traction rear end, obviously it has the clutches and stuff, but I like the feeling of when you're in the parking lot and the tires are chirping and it's hopping around and grandma's looking at you like your truck's broken, but you know you gotta weld a diff. That's fun. I think I'm gonna preheat these two, which I did not do the first time, but these are also a lot bigger than the first one I did.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Cleanliness is next to God.
That's what he always tells me.
You're knocking this stuff over.
Cleanliness.
No, that is really good.
next
I
to
like that.
godliness.
That's pretty funny.
He always yells at me for it.
There's nothing that holds these on. It just sits in there. So these clips, even on a full stack here, don't really stay on. They kind of just sit on there. So I'm going to use grease. It's kind of like a glue. It's not as strong as glue, obviously, but just something sticky to hold these clips on. And the grease will just dissolve in the diff fluid and it won't cause any harm to the rear end. If you were actually using these clutches, I probably wouldn't put grease this close to them. But considering that these clutches aren't going to do anything anymore, then yeah, should be okay. One of these is still gonna fall off.
Yep.
I'm gonna lose it. Repeating the same thing. This clutch pack doesn't come apart. At least I couldn't figure out how to take it apart, so I didn't take it apart. And then we'll be able to tack this together.
Could have just tacked these together.
Clutches? Yeah. I don't know how.
I would not.
Yeah, they are interesting clutches, though. They're just big metal plates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Only thing I'm nervous about is this here. This sits in here, just like this. The only thing I'm worried about is when I start to weld this, it expands or moves, and then I won't be able to properly put these together. So I want to see if I can either clamp this down or see, like that wasn't even in all the way. Clamp this down so it will properly hold itself in place. Because I would hate to weld this and then find out it doesn't fit. Harbor Freight, if anyone needs rags, these are incredible rags.
No promo, no promo.
Look, yeah, no problem. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'd love to though, Harbor Freight. Just saying. But I'm gonna drop this. Oh wait, I almost messed up.
I don't think I got you putting that in.
I know you did.
Okay.
I recorded.
Oh, it's when I was fishing.
Yep. I explained why.
When I was fishing.
Why I'm scared to weld this. Should be pretty easy though. This way.
Well, we're drunk. Okay.
No idea what that does, but it was in there.
It's a washer.
It's going back in there.
It's for spacing.
And then the clutch pack 8,000 right here.
Clutchinator.
Clutchinator 8 million.
Make sure it slides in. Is that cracked?
Was what cracked?
No, I don't think so.
No, she's missing teeth. Look at.
Yep.
Yeah, good thing that's for the locking
Yeah.
mechanism.
Well, I was looking at it, I'm like, this whole thing's cracked.
Yeah, someone
Missing teeth.
was partying with this thing.
Right there.
She had some fun at some point.
More teeth right there.
All right, so
Okay, so we took it out, put it back
yeah, I was
over here.
I had a stupid moment. All right, we got everything in the press now. The only thing I'm worried about is when I started to weld this would come up and I wouldn't be able to put the two halves back together. So we have the press with barely any pressure on it, just holding this together. I'm gonna take the torch, go around this, just try and burn any oil that might be stuck on here, give it a little bit of heat, and then we'll push these together and put some tacks on it and go from there. So here, oops, sorry. Here's the rear end. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the gasket surface, try and get as much of this old fluid out as we can. And that magnet, as you guys can see, a little bit of metal on there, so we're gonna take that off and clean it up. Overall though, the bearings all look to be in really good shape. These are the bearing races obviously, but everything appears to be in good shape. I think this is a healthy rear end here, so ready to do some burnouts. Ooh. All right, so we got this all cleaned up, got the surface clean, wiped the bearings, tried to get as much of the old juice out of there as we could, and I got the magnet wiped off. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the differential and we're gonna slide it in. Come on, bitch. All right. We got the rear end in, main bolts are torqued. Those bolts are torqued. I counted how many I backed it out to pick the unit up, put it back to exactly where it was. I also checked our lash. The lash is good. We got one axle in, and Kayla is getting ready to put this axle in. And then we're gonna try and weld the cover tonight, and the rear end's ready to go. All right, guys, rear end is back together. Axles are in, backlash is set, main bearing caps are torqued, everything's torqued, everything should be good. Went ahead and ran this through the parts washer real quick. Gonna let it dry overnight, and we're gonna have to pop that plug out. The junkyard puts it and drain it, weld that up, but it should be good to go. This is inverted, I don't know why. My apologies for the bad camera angles. It'll get better the more we record. Hopefully, next video, Seagull will be here at the shop on the lift, getting ready for that to go in. Hopefully it will go in. Here's all the brake parts and everything. We got all the brakes, that's some hardware, and should be able to throw this thing right in. So, thank you guys.